Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Eye Satan Third Reich events. Okay, we are... I checked shortly before the episode. Let's scroll back down here. We're at 90% progress, a little over that, towards surrender. So we are doing well here. I think we can wrap this up quickly, hopefully. Keep some strategic bombing going. We are having some problems, like here. Okay, good. We're moving against the Americans there. See what reinforcements we could send up. They're all out of supplies, I think is why they're... Yeah, let's put them in charge for a little while of the battle. Yeah. Direct fire unit training has advanced. .43. Okay, well, I'm gonna move that. Well, are we in? I think we're in a deficit still because I've shifted a lot of leadership over to, particularly espionage, but doing things like, I think we're trying to influence Argentina, and we're putting some spies into Argentina to build up some covert op points. Things like that we're working on. Oh, neither of these are doing well. Just go onto the defensive there. Okay, won that one. Won that. We're being hit heavy. I don't want to lose that province. And we've lost the naval HQ's advanced. Great. Increased organization morale for our ships. And let's take a quick look. Yeah, we're going to keep these going. But we need to make sure we don't do Hitler's orders. Forming Commander Admiral Francis Südkreist Kunst. Okay, yes, we'll take that. I think that's... Yes, here. Okay, so we have... U-boat? No. Moored sea, it doesn't sound appropriate. Same rank as that one. Who's he under? Do we have the ships here? No, we need to get ships over here before we can use him. He's not a strong division, of course, but still. Sud, Marine Commando Group Sud. Yeah, let's find him. I think he's sort of far away over in Romania, but There we are. So, Bulgaria. And who are we going to put in charge of him? Go down to the bad generals, because we're not good ground generals. Okay, that's good. He's a war merit, which helps with a lot of things. So we'll put him in charge down there. Okay. Now, last time I tried to invade Vladivostok in a test scenario, what happened was some divisions landed, like one division and the HQ landed here, and the other two divisions landed here in my test game, and these divisions just piled on them and killed this group outright, and this was just too small. Not exactly sure whether it was the coastal forts or why it won't allow you to attack this, or if there's naval units there or something that won't allow you to attack the position you're intending to. But because I don't want to lose that one province up there and we retreat back from 90%, I'm going to try this here. Hope it won't be some miserable disaster, but we will see. If we can get in and take that, because this is 15 victory points, I think it could. We don't have to hold it like for a week or a month. I just think we just have to take it. Get in and past whatever that garrison unit is. Well, that 0 looks a lot better, but maybe they'll exhaust themselves trying to cross that river. Well, this guy should not be in command of anything. Just keep not having a good point to remove him because he's an air commander. Somehow it got past me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Huff Duff. Radio frequency direction finding. We'll cancel that. It's pushing us too far ahead anyways. Help a lot of our lighter vessels. No. Okay, yeah, you don't have any supplies. Stop ground attacking. Oh, you should be up there intercepting. You should rest. You there. Put you on ground attack. Still one. Mess with the Soviets. Okay, now supply look around here. They're in good supply and they just got their reinforcement in. Resupply air supply, get it up there as close as we can. We need it right where we're going. How are we doing down here? Okay, you've got your province. come in to occupy that. You to support the attack. You to support the attack. There we go. Uh-oh, okay. Let's just attach you to somebody. Okay, he can support that. That'll do better. Okay, well, we're holding there. How are we doing? Oh, we're already ashore. Damn. Not quite where I wanted to be. I wanted to be right there, but... let's hurry everybody in, because I want to make sure that goes fast. Fast as we can. And if I need to, I'll fly in some air. Maybe. We'll see if we run out of supplies. Submarine snorkel advanced. Okay, great. Now, a submarine snorkel sounds like a great idea, and it was. It really, really was. Basically, you can't use a snorkel for much of a, an attack run or evading an enemy. Like we've talked about earlier, in the Mediterranean with the clearer conditions, if there's a lot of enemy around, including enemy air, they're going to see your shadow of your boat if you're just that near, let alone see the snorkel. But what it does do is allow you to make major movements. I'm trying to picture, a lot of the times submarines would swing way out around a convoy because on their diesel engines they could move a lot faster than the slow merchant vessels. And so they would swing out around a convoy and try to get in front of it and then sneak in under its battery powered engines. Kind of things like that. And of course, as they had the initially just one-shot use catapult aircraft that would go up often out of date stuff, that they literally didn't have any way to recover. It would just sort of crash land in the water, and the pilot would get out into a lifeboat or something and be rescued that way. And then later the jeep carrier, the small mini carriers that could take off and land, and there was some planes with float planes that could be recovered there that they would put up when they suspected, but the jeep carriers would do a lot more air patrol. So when on the day time they would try to move around the outside of the convoy area and get in front of it, they could be spotted if they were up on the surface. Now, of course, like I'm saying, they were further out than visual spotting would hit them, but with enough air power moving around in the Atlantic. What you can do is, if you have a snorkel in the rougher Atlantic conditions, you can be up with the snorkel up there, powering around it with your diesel engines and getting up there, and then going to much quieter running of your electric batteries to come in for the attack. But also just things like we've talked about, generally speaking, moving across, whether it's across the Atlantic. Do you just only do that at night and basically just barely move during the day, or do you run day and night on the surface to get out there? Well, when it's just the British and you get away from most air patrols, you can just power along and have all your spotters up looking for enemy aircraft or anything to dive if it comes anywhere near you. But with the snorkels, you can power along day and night, not having to really worry much about enemy air, because it's just so hard to spot, and most radars at the time, they were getting better and better, but it would be spotty in the range that you would just detect not that you couldn't detect a snorkel, it depends on what radar, and I'm not a radar expert to know the models, but you know, if it's the submarine surface with the conning tower and the whole thing up there, that may be spotted. You could spot that on radar at 20 miles or something. The snorkel at 3 miles or 4 miles, you know. So if you're just doing search patterns, just looking for possible submarines out there, you're probably not going to find the snorkel unless you're really suspicious of a particular area. So they were great things in that sense. Now, from reports from those that use the few, because they got the snorkels from capturing some Dutch submarines that had been developed before the Netherlands got into the war. They were, to my knowledge, the first significant use of the snorkel with a submarine. Captured some models in the Netherlands and started looking at them, and very much it was like, man, good idea. We're already cranking out submarines as fast as we can. We don't want to change anything, and we're winning so well, so we're doing good enough. Now, unfortunately for the Germans, things were about to change, and so they only belatedly later in the war started to really put snorkel designs into the submarines. And I think you can retrofit a submarine with a snorkel, but it's more than just simply attaching a tube to the submarine. But you can do that, I do believe. Now, like I was saying, the guys who used them hated them because, particularly in the Atlantic, is that whenever, and they had a sort of the fancy snorkel kind of thing, that it would come up above the water and then sort of bend over, and there would be like a ball that would hang down. Gravity would keep it free and clear, but it was like a hollow metal ball or whatever, that any water that would come up would make the ball float up and seal up the snorkel. Well, what that would do is just create, I guess, pressure waves in the boat, or negative pressure waves, I'm not sure which, that would just really mess with your eardrums. So every single wave that was big enough to hit to make that happen, because it's sucking in the air in a generally speaking, in a pump. It's not just letting it breathe naturally. So it would just boom, boom, each wave. So of course they tended to try to, in any sort of roughest or moving water, get that snorkel fairly high up out of the water. So that didn't happen all the time, which obviously makes it more spottable, whether with eyes or with radar type means. But it was just really bad in any sort of significant seas. Now, of course, it's better than being spotted and sunk, but it was just sort of a really painful, as they've described it, use. That's why they're not used. I don't know that anybody's using them today, snorkels, because the nuke subs, they have enough energy left over that they can separate the oxygen out from the water and just run under the water and constantly get more oxygen in. And the diesel electrics that are used, I just don't think anybody's doing the snorkel design, because the modern radars will just pick them up too easily, and with compressed air and everything, they can stay down a lot longer, and much better battery systems. So I just don't think they do it. Generally speaking, and somebody who, my information sort of dated to the late 80s and early 90s, but a good battery operated submarine, some of the ones that the West Germans were building, and yes, I'm using the term specifically as the country, were very good, very, very silent battery operated submarines. A bit more silent than your average nuke sub. This is the way the power plant works. So when you're, operating in... No, oh, they're pushing me back out here now. When you're operating in the Baltic or somewhere fairly close, you don't need to the long endurance down there. The diesels might just be a bit better. Bombing sites have advanced. That's very nice. And that one too. We like it, but I'd rather have most of the techs actually being researched. Okay, well, I don't want to look at victory points and okay, so if they're pushing me back a little bit, I'm not minding that so much along here because I just don't want to lose any key places or have them cut me off like here. Okay, they're fairly well off. I just don't want to assign an officer to them and lose whatever organization they have. Oh, Das Reich has showed back up to the front. Okay. Let's send you into there. Make sure that that doesn't get... Okay, let those get a little bit more organized. I've got to watch this carefully because we won that first battle there. How we doing on showing their progress? Okay, a little better. 99 or 90. I think it was like 90-60 before. We get to 100, we've won, so we're getting there. Okay. Well, we've almost made it. They're getting there. That'll help out when they win. I presume they're going to win against this, but I don't know. What are we doing in North Africa here? Oh, great. Okay. Advance. Get Remke in. They've got that handled. Oh, we're fighting Patton again. Okay, well they can take that back. But well, fairly well organized for such a huge debt. Okay, good. Our Africa Corps is still moving. They're not getting across the river, I don't think. Okay. For a reconnaissance. Engineering unit training increase. Great. And we have a bunch of food. No, gotta shift them over there. I should have before this. If we can put the Soviet Union down, that means we can shift forces. Good. Shift a bunch of forces, obviously, to either be prepared to invade Britain or to deal with a U.S. invasion of northern France. Yes, you can have the medal. One thing I noticed, I don't think these guys are at war with the Allies. So I wanted to call them to arms. Might as well just have them if they're not already. Okay, they're already at war with. Good. Good. Just so that if they're air power or whatever. These guys are still fighting in here. Well, okay, good. Good, that worked out. Can't let our Indians. Still got supplies. I'm watching that carefully. Uh-oh. No, he didn't attack soon enough. Okay, at least a couple of divisional units that are fairly strong there. Now I am building, let's see, building up here. Now I haven't noticed this get any. 34. Rows, need 32. We can build another one there. I'm gonna make sure it's... Oh, these should all be up higher. Let's move them to the top. Hanover's almost done. Good thing about the Hanover one, it's in a much smaller oil pool or reserve or whatever, but you get the full effects. It's in Germany, where these are in occupied zones, so you don't get the full effect, though it's still better than nothing for the oil situation. Uh-oh, they're gotta shift the supplies to here, because I don't want them to retreat out because they don't have organization. I'll get there quick. Sure. Okay, well, they've already lost their... Rommel or Patton's doing well there, isn't he? Messed up him. Rocket interceptor prototypes. Cool. Don't know when if we're going to build any, but cool. That's under secret. That, oh boy, Messerschmitt, what is it? Thinking 163. Rocket interceptor. Biggest danger to it, to the pilots, was its own fuel. Basically, you were using... Now you're using rocket fuel, obviously, but liquid rocket interceptors. We may just build some for fun. The whole idea with them is that they could gain altitude very fast. Oh, okay, we're here. We can get in there. I don't even care about being cut off or not. He's out of... Okay, well, let's start with... I'm going to move one of these guys. I don't know if they're doing any good. Well, there's some here that may not be doing any good. There we go. These guys may be able to range from here to here. To supply them, so I want to make sure they have supplies. Alright, good. Okay, one there, one there. I think I'm getting near the end here. The Soviets, but... These are just such huge armies hammering you. That I'm not worried about. Okay, so you shouldn't have worried about it, and I wasn't. Oh, medium armor designs. Good! Let's see, okay. I guess we're grayed out, so we're now good. What theoretical types would we be building with our armor? Okay, we're at the Panzer 4H. That is a medium armor. Sometimes they do it differently for the attachments, but let's see what... Yeah, CF2 for the attachments. Okay, and we need to... Well, we can improve armored cars. Come on, Vladivostok. Oh wow, they're really hitting this group hard. Don't I have some air? No. Air interceptors up somewhere? Some they need to rest, so we're gonna put these guys back up. Yes, you can have some more metal. Iran, we like selling you metal. Okay, you can have that province back. You know, we've won there. Oh good, we defeated Rommel, or Patton again. Why am I saying Rommel? Patton. Okay, tall boy bomb. That's the bomb types, okay. Grand Slam. The attack. Well, I want to increase some of these because I want to get the superpower week or whatever sometime. Okay, our mountain units. We're using a lot of mountain units. We're going to let that go. We're going and occupy it, I guess. Why not? Oh good, we've won, but we're... Oh, we got it. We got Vladivostok. Okay, let's see if this passes the Soviet... Oh, we lost a province. There, okay. Good, we're pushing them out of Morocco. Well, %. Why aren't they surrendering if we've got them to 100%? Oh. Don't crash now. Okay, we have enforced Dragna Osten on the Soviet Union and bitter peace. So we have defeated the Soviet Union, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Germany! Yes! And that was a hard-fought campaign. It really, really was a hard-fought campaign. Let me give a brief review of things here. They're all heading out now. Gonna need a lot of supplies for a while. I'm not complaining about the idea of supply difficulties, because obviously there were supply difficulties historically, and that's because of terrain, because of the rail system, because of the weather, because of partisan activities, because of a lot of factors. And part of it is just long supply lines. You know, you probably heard the Red Ball Express, and that was just one of, they shifted it several times, and I forget from which set of ports, truck routes that were, you know, working like railroads, very efficiently moving supplies up to the front. But they were just, you know, maybe from here to here, or from one of these other ports to the front, you know. Nothing like the scale that we're here talking here. Even in North Africa, you know, well, the back and forth was around this thing, and that's getting to this scale to some degree, but they were able to use places like Tobruk, Benghazi. So, you know, when British got Tobruk here and were, you know, able to supply it, then the Germans got it back. And so you're just talking about supply lines in this length, or supply lines in and around here. You're talking about great, huge supply lines. So, and I know if you've been watching the series, how much I've been bitching and moaning about the supplies. Part of the problem, a heavy element of the problem for me, is that there's nothing I could do about it. Meaning there wasn't like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it, I just got invaded. No, there is something I can do about it. I can either know that the invasion's a possibility and build defenses and put in defending units, or once, if I've been surprised with an invasion, I can send troops to deal with it. You know, there's something I can do about it. You know, it may happen, but I have a ability to make decisions that may cost somewhere else. It's not like, ooh, free magic, as much supplies as you want, wherever you want, whenever you want. No, that's not the idea, but it's like when I'm using the air power here. I'm deciding to, you know, supply this province or this province, and that's fine. Just didn't have enough long-range air power, and my use of these worked only a little bit, but you can see, you know, there's like 8 or 10 airplanes using this one air bridge, and we're just moving one set of supplies up to the front. And no, Germany should not be able to air supply a great army, as we saw in Stalingrad. But, and you could say, oh, build infrastructure, that'll help. Well, I can't even, you know, I guess I could turn everywhere very green, but, and I could sure build a little more infrastructure here or there, but I can't even force the supplies to move along it. In some ways, I almost think it would be better to remove infrastructure to force supplies along corridors that might move more efficiently. But there is no ability to designate supply dumps or write supply orders, send X number of tons of supplies to here, and so that, or even like when I'm being pushed back here, and this is not any complaint against Black Ice, because they're just dealing with what's why aren't they going anywhere? Are they still at war with me? They might be. Then they'll take that province. It's purely a Hearts of Iron thing, because Black Ice can't fix this. is to be able to write, because if, we don't have supplies here, and the units are going to be disorganized and the Soviets are attacking, well, great. And if I knew, well, to get supplies from Berlin to here, well, that's going to take 30 days. And you may say, well, that's way too long. Well, fine. Well, I can write to orders to bring them to here, or bring them somewhere else that I can slowly retreat to, and know that once I retreat back to here, there will be supplies. Unless partisans uprising or something happens. I had no concept of, other than trying to fly in supplies into Moscow and such places, I had no abilities to affect it, or to even plan for it, because, I was thinking, well, okay, December with the increased organization regain rate and the winter snows, and so they're not going to be able to attack very well, and my supplies will catch up. But they never did. I never got supplies caught up to, how long has Gross Deutschland been sitting here? And if not here, somewhere within a province of here. Supplies never caught up to them, really. I think everybody just got, so this was, I'm pretty sure I'm flying in supplies to him here. The only reason he's gotten more organized. But there was no ability to do that in any sort of consistent, persistent way. So that's what I felt bad, I didn't like about it. And I can, in no way do sending supplies from Berlin out to here that you should end up with no supplies, in the sense that the supply tax should be so bad that, you send out 100 tons of supplies, because of the tax going through each province, you get 0 supplies by the time it comes out here. The railroads are designed not to do that, so that there always should be a minimum amount or something. I don't know. So that was what's so frustrating about the supply situation. So for some reasons, the supplies were moving better and easier through here, probably coming in and feeding through the ports through here. And all of the ports were well supplied, and a lot of this front was close enough that I could use the regular supply planes to supply the front, so that worked. So it's almost sort of like, it's almost to some degree the opposite of reality, because supplies do go efficiently to ports, most assuredly. But rails do work too, and you should be able to push in the center instead of not being able to push out there. This move, yeah, I'll admit, a little gamey, but one, obviously we couldn't have at the time, but theoretically you could have Japan break its non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, because had they truly been conquerors of China, and Germany needed the help and the Soviet Union wasn't doing so well, I do think Japan, and if Japan, which we know, well, the Americans have made it back to here. I still have my submarines out here. They're doing any good? We're still fighting this war, gentlemen. It ain't over, so we're doing a little bit of good out here. Japan isn't in a situation where it must. My attack request have been honored down here? No. No, they still have an attack there. I think I also did a Port Moresby as sort of a, yeah. Well, maybe they're heading towards Port Moresby, or maybe that's scripted. All these, I don't know. All this going on, I think they would have been able to do that, but if I were Germany at this stage, I would have very much considered something like this, as probably not with the Indian Legion, but as a counter move to open up another front with a raid type situation to Vladivostok. So we still have to close this last little bit of India up, help Japan take the rest of Burma. We've sent some police units down here, and I hope that's helped. That'll help, well, in Singapore at least, but they're not doing as well as I had hoped in reducing partisan activities. We still have South Africa to take, but we're going to... Oh, and I did need to build some more convoys because we're running low on them. At least get those started in production. I want to bump them to the top. Is we're going to shift some forces down here and clean up the rest of South Africa. We still have the operation that I want to move against these guys. I think because they have not, they're at war with Vichy France here, and they've got infrastructure to move in there, so it's not like they can't go. I mean, there's some places, well, we can't see there, but some provinces do get a bit much here. So we're going to continue to move into Africa. Just giving you a heads up. I know a lot of you, want to see Barbarossa, see how that goes, but there's still going to be some interesting times coming for this game. I guess part of this is a sales job. And I do think we're going to need to hold down here because I don't know that the Vichy are going to do too well. Because Britain sees this as occupied Britain and the US sees this as occupied US. So they very well may be trying to retake it at some point. I'm also wondering whether these guys have any supply. Don't know. And we're definitely going to move against the British Isles, which should be an interesting campaign. Next major focus is definitely the here. But like I say, we're going to continue to operate in Africa. I know I've been encouraged to draw battle plans, but I don't know how well to do. I should do all this. I'm going to hopefully get either Argentina or Uruguay or both into the Axis here while we're finishing this up, and we're going to be taking probably with some of our light infantry, but we will see about that. Some of these islands out here, see if we can maybe get the Falklands. I don't know. We'll have to look at ranges. There's an island, but there's no infrastructure that we can occupy. So get St. Helena. Put an airport there. Or St. Helena, I guess that is in Accession Island, and put an airport there. Pretty sure they did it. Put in one of those. They put an airport. The Americans did once they got in. And with that, the U.S. got this via an event, I presume. We're going to start moving into Brazil. And from Brazil, these other, Colombia, well, I think that's probably no infrastructure. Do some island hopping up through here. I know in some campaigns I've done that Brazil was not an enemy, so I was able to do invasions into these colonies. The Dutch, the English, but we're going to have to deal with Brazil, because if we don't, because Brazil's taken Vichy territory there. but move up through here, leaving Haiti alone. We will not touch Haiti whatsoever. We'll see about moving into Mexico maybe, but we'll also see about coming through these islands through here to potentially come into Florida. And we're going to be working on that whole southern campaign now that I don't know if there's any conditions that the Soviets will be able to restart the war, but we're going to have some level of occupation force out here. May not be too major, but it will be something. But there's going to be a great many units freed up. So, but we're going, because we learned our lesson, and because we're still supplying all of this through Dar es Salaam, this whole invasion here. And I've been sort of ignoring this, and I should have been moving forward, maybe not. I think we've sort of pushed as far as we can with our Africa Corps here. Well, maybe we could take these, we'll see. Because if we start moving in armored corps, and I mean plural on armored corps, we're going to be, we're going to have the same type of problems that we've been having in Russia, but just different type of problem in that it's not enough supply, but this is because of port limitations, infrastructure limitations, and this is something I can logically see about and logically do, is either build infrastructure or whatnot, and I can make a decision on. But if we can take South Africa out, we can start supplying them around this way without having the supply lines too vulnerable. And so we'll be doing all of this while we're getting ready to do this. I don't want to invade England, just before the start of winter. So we'll see how quickly we can get things over here to see if it's going to be a 43 invasion or a 42 or a 44 invasion. And then that, of course, is, do we want to just wait to see what D-Day happens and then kill D-Day and then move in? Just not sure of that. It's sort of timing to some degree. Since I'm talking about it here, if we're just sort of waiting, I can, do an episode, have it go 30 days and, roughly 30 minutes and burn it through quickly kind of thing. If there's not a lot of action going on, so that it may be a few extra days to have, wait 6 months, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to do a lot of slow episodes to do it there, but we've got time. So that's what's looking ahead. Thanks for watching so far. Like I say, this was a major challenge completed, but the series is far from over, even this. Now, some people said, well, once you get this, Germany basically wins the war. Well, am I right now afraid that the U.S. is going to conquer Berlin? Absolutely not. Do I think that I could, so I don't know, but if the U.S. has been producing a lot of good good armored divisions or whatever, and I've done before and, been able to move in and, come island hopping this way, and, the U.S., though, unlike the U.S. campaign of island hopping, as they were jumping, missing some islands and cutting off Shroud. No, we're going to take each one, and I'm pretty sure I can take Newfoundland up here, but can I break out with good, panzer divisions and take the U.S. and defeat the U.S. juggernaut? That is still very much in question. I don't know that I can in a practical sense. It might just become, a stalemate somewhere here, I don't know. It might just become that. So conquering the U.S. is far from guaranteed, and though I would say mostly for Britain, it's just, what's it going to cost? How hard is it going to be? Because if we can take the ports, and there's enough of them along the coast here that are short enough that we'll be able to supply, and with air supply going across. And you'll see how I do it. I do sort of that come into places like Brighton to start off with, to avoid, you know, attacking straight into the ports, and air supply them. You know, air supplying panzer divisions, not just paratroopers, to try to break out to capture the ports instead of going straight after them. That's how I'll base that on that. So this is going to be a challenging campaign, not so much if I can defeat Britain as how hard is it going to be to defeat Britain. That's a different question. Here is, can I defeat the US or not? That to me is still very much of an open. Like I say, nope, I don't think the US is going to, you know, drive into Berlin. I just can't see the AI doing that now that I can free up most of the Soviets. And I don't know if there's a condition that would allow the Soviets back into the war. But if it does, we can do the opposite of the Soviets campaign and trade space for time and retreat back, you know, back to this kind of a line and make them fight their way in. Make it costly for them. That's very doable. We've got a lot of factories here. We're going to be building lots of stuff. Okay, thanks for watching the series. You know, this episode, all episodes, thank you very much. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post your comments. Love hearing from you. See you next time.